about this game because it's frustrating, infuriating, and I'm irritated. All right, I'm very irritated. You know that I am not the type that get too overly emotional during these. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. Okay, but at the end of the day, I can at least see things logically, right? I could take a step back and say, hey, maybe I shouldn't just sit here and just blame this one player. Maybe I shouldn't just sit here and just blame Pop for everything. Maybe I shouldn't just sit here and just blame, whoever, right? I try my best to see the good in things, okay? I try my best to see the good in things. And I thought overall, as a team, we stayed in it. We played hard. But you know what, guys? That's not good enough. Because at this point, that's what I expect every single night. It's what they expect every single night. The Spurs are going to fight. We're that type of team. We have that type of character. And yeah, I don't think we should praise them too much for fighting during a game. Of course they're going to fight, right? We know what we're made of. We've been like this for the last couple seasons now. Well, actually, probably the whole existence of Popovich Spurs as we know it, but especially the last couple games with the last couple seasons with the young guys, we know that they fight. That's what they do. They're always going to be that way. When Sohan's leading the way, when Wemby's leading the way, this is the type of team you're going to get. All right, it rubs off on people, and they play hard. Like Keldon as well, as far as his attitude. But I don't know. I don't know if it's productive for me or if I should just go through every single player like I normally do, or talk about every single player like I normally do. Pause on that. I said that before. Yeah, pause on that. I don't know, man. Bro, you see Pop after some of these missed layups? No, I didn't. All right, so I saw some people in the chat early on blaming Sohan or whatever. Dude, just don't. Just don't. We were watching two different games. If you think Sohan is a huge part of the Spurs coming back. He played great tonight. And he's one of those players, as I always say, I don't care about the stats. You don't need to look at the stats, all right? It's a vibe test when it comes to Sohan. It's an absolute vibe test. But Pop trusts him basically the most on the team to keep him out there consistently, him and Wemby. Like, it's undoubtedly he trusts them the most, and rightfully so. He should. Sohan is solid all the way around. Now, no one could stop Jalen Green. How many points did Jalen Green have tonight? 36. No one could stop him. It was kind of insane. He was very frustrating. A lot to deal with. Way too athletic. All right, it's just too much. But with that being said, I thought that overall Sohan did phenomenal. Wemby, while I wish he did shoot more, at the same time, I thought he played the right way, right? He made some really great reads, 4 blocks, right? 20 rebounds. I mean, he was snatching those rebounds. So I'm not going to get on to him about that. About 5 threes, I know people will say, you missed so many threes, but I expect Wemby to take 5, right? Around that 5 range. Now, when you get to the 8, I think you're just doing too much, all right? Unless you're on a hot streak. I don't know what you're doing. But 5, sure, whatever. I think last game he went 2 for 5, so that's on par with what he's going to do. Champagny was not Champagny tonight, but Champagny was the Champagny that we're used to, right? He's going to be much more effective when he's actually coming off the bench, right? It just undoubtedly, that's how it is. I almost said unfortunately. No, not unfortunately. It's fine. That's totally fine. With that being said, guys, I'm gonna skip all this. All right, I'm gonna skip all this. Oh, let me say, Brandon did well too. He was a spark plug. He did really well when he came in, and that's what the Spurs needed of him. That's why he stayed in the game. Not his defense. Defense wasn't the best, but yeah. He was a spark plug. Okay. Don't hate me, okay? Don't hate me. But there's no reason whatsoever that Keldon Johnson should have been the game at the end. There's no reason. I know that he's the longest tenured Spur. I know that Pop has this habit of making sure that the veterans of the team, get to close out games, or they get as many minutes as humanly possible. I do not agree. Keldon should not have been in that game. Keldon in that game over Castle is disgusting. Castle only getting 18 minutes is disgusting. And I know he did not play the best, all right? 3 turnovers. He couldn't dribble to save his life, him or, anybody else on the team for that matter. Even Chris Paul struggled. But, Chris Paul struggled with some weird turnovers. But, dude, there's no reason at the end of that game, when you absolutely need to close it out, when you absolutely need defense, that he should be in that game. I won't say he single-handedly lost us that game. I won't say that. But I will say I am a little irritated with Pop for that. I am irritated with Pop. Now, this isn't the green light for everybody to say, yeah, so of course Popovich sucks. No, obviously Pop is awesome. Okay, he's a great coach. I wouldn't want any other coach. Everyone has their kryptonite. Everyone has their weakness. And Pop's weakness is no matter the talent differential. Well, that's not always the case, but most of the time, okay? No matter the talent differential, the vets are the ones that's going to get the minutes, right? It's always been that way. And fortunately, back in the day, our vets were also basically the best players on the team as well. Right now, we're not really in that situation, and it's a transition period. And, it's totally fine for a lot of these guys to get substantial minutes, right? Chris Paul, Barnes. It makes sense for them to get those minutes, being veterans of the NBA, and they're talented enough to kind of hold their own. Barnes was a little rough defensively at times. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here in front and act like he was great, okay? But Keldon, dude, I'm sorry, guys. It's the mentality of Keldon. It's not that he played poorly defensively the entire game, okay? It's not that. I'm okay with you missing some shots if they're good shots, but Keldon just takes stuff that he shouldn't take all the time, way too often. The end of this game was the Keldon experience. This is the Keldon experience, man. Under 2 minutes, it's time to rock, right? It's time to win this thing. Keldon, shooting foul. Jalen Green gets 2 free throws. And that point before that was 97-93. So now it's 99-93. Keldon misses a driving layup, which was a terrible layup he took. And then he missed a 3-point shot. And then it's not going to show up here in the play-by-play. But at the end of the game, he left Fred VanVleet wide open for no reason. This right here, all Keldon. I do not understand why the life of me he rotated that hard. I do not understand why he compensated that hard. Why did he do that? Why did he double team that strong? Why? Can someone explain to me why he did that? Seriously, I do not understand that. Chris Paul was pissed at that. I didn't even see Chris Paul after that. I don't understand why he did that. I do not understand that double team at all. Yeah, Jalen Green was giving us that work. Don't get me wrong. But you got Jeremy Sohan one-on-one with him. You just live or die by that. Why are we doing that? I guarantee you if Steph Castle was out there, he would not have done that. Why would you leave Fred VanVleet, the NBA champion, wide open for a 3-point shot? Matter of fact, hold on. This game alone, yeah, he shot nearly 40% from 3? Why would you leave him open? That was it's like as soon as we double teamed, I rolled my eyes, guys. Good guy. Thanks for the super chat, man. He says Keldon's development is maxed in my opinion. He's just an average player who still lacks IQ and still drives into 4 dudes. He only has a good game every 10 games. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I won't go as far as say he's like an average player. I think that he's slightly above average. If he's coming off the bench, you contextualize it a little bit. But yeah, lacks basketball IQ for sure. Yeah. His mentality is terrible. I do not understand. I was trying to get it. I was trying to think why did we do that? Why did we do that? Was Malachi left on an island with Jalen Green, or was it Jeremy Sohan? Why did we do that? I don't know. Jabari Smith in the corner, though? What? What do you mean? I mean, I know he was in the corner. What do you mean? And initially, I was like, dude, Malachi. As soon as he did that, I was like, we're screwed. Because I was like, Malachi is not going to be able to make that rotation. Look how far he has to travel. Like, why did we do that? What was the point? What was the point? Did they do it because Jalen Green had 4 turnovers in this game? They're like, oh, we're going to get a turnover off that. I don't get it. I mean, I know he had 36 points. Okay, I'm not minimizing that. I'm not minimizing that. But leaving Dillon Brooks, not Dillon Brooks, I'm sorry. Leaving Van Fleet wide, well, you can't leave Dillon Brooks open either. But leaving Van Fleet wide open like that was just disgusting to me. I don't understand the life of me why that even occurred. I'm waiting for somebody in the chat to at least enlighten me. I'm not even being hostile towards you, okay? If you guys can give me a good reason, I'm cool. All they had to do was switch. It wasn't rocket science. Keldon and Sohan still thought Green was on fire. To me, this game is on Wemby until Wemby is constant, which no. I agree that Wemby has to improve. I agree. Wemby has to improve. I don't know if we'll see as big of a jump as people want to see, only because during the offseason, obviously, he had the Olympics going on, so he hasn't had all the time in the world in the offseason to work on his game. I mean, just being honest. But I don't blame Wemby for this loss. I mean, you're in this situation, right? You're down by just a couple points. This can't happen. This can't happen. You just need to play solid defense. If Green crosses over Sohan and hits a step back 3, then so be it. But what should not happen is Fred VanVleet wide open for a 3-point shot. Out of all the people on this team, he is one of the 2 I do not want wide open for a 3-point shot to win the game. Obviously. Killed us in preseason. You should know this. It just happened a week ago. Why? That's a theory. Chatter says, do you think the reason why Pop is leaving Keldon in is in hopes he plays solid enough for trade? That's a reason, I guess, but I don't know, man. I don't want to give away wins just for the sake of trying to trade Keldon. I don't know. I know I'm considered a Keldon hater, right? I truly do like Keldon as a player. I mean, not as a player. I'm sorry. I don't like him that much as a player. I do like Keldon Johnson as a teammate. I do like him as a leader. And I think he's a good guy, right? I think he brings that intensity. I think he's fun to watch. Did you really just say that theory? Yeah, I said it was a theory. I don't agree with that. I don't think that we're putting Keldon in the game at the end for hopes for a trade. That's not. Yeah. I don't think that they would sacrifice wins just for the sake of it. What did he do for us even in that fourth quarter? I'm not trying to be facetious here. Let's see. He shouldn't have been in this game, Pop. You got in the entire fourth quarter, you got a rebound from him. You got a missed 3-point shot from him. You had another rebound. You had a shooting foul, a missed 3, a missed layup. Another. Oh wait, no, that's not another defensive rebound. That's back at 1, and then a wide open 3 for VanVleet. That's what you got from. So what you got from Keldon in the fourth quarter was 2 rebounds, bad defense, a shooting foul, and 2 missed shots down the stretch. No reason for him to be in this game. Keldon Clan, say one good thing Keldon did right, please. In the fourth, or like in the fourth quarter? I was talking about the fourth quarter. Shoot. His defense did look better a little bit. His on-ball defense, 1-on-1, he looked okay. He moved his feet a little bit better. I'll say that. He did move his feet a little bit better. Not being facetious here, being completely real. He did. It's not Keldon's fault, though. No, it's Pop's fault, because he shouldn't have been in the game in the fourth quarter. Didn't he get that jump ball? He did? I guess he got a jump ball. Actually, I'll put it back on you. I'll put it back on the chat. What can you tell me what Keldon did good? Tell me what you liked tonight. Wemby needs to learn to be effective, nothing more. Yeah. Castle needs more playing time. Jones is out. Now's his time. Yeah. I think it's like this, right? And you understand it to an extent, but with the team that we have, I don't understand it. I think with Pop is like young guys come in and when they make mistakes, it weighs more than a veteran making a mistake. So the veteran will still get more minutes than the young guy, right? I understand that to an extent, but I don't understand that with Keldon. Keldon's never been the type of player that makes mistakes and then as the game goes on, he just gets better. Not necessarily. If anything, Keldon starts off really well, or the first half starts off very well, and then, you know, as the game progresses, when things get tighter in a game like this, he drops it. That's usually what happens. So I don't quite understand Keldon getting more minutes than Castle in this one, even though Castle did struggle. Castle did struggle. At times. Castle struggled. Because he actually looked good for a big chunk of it. Another one of those players you can't really stare at the stats on. But in 18 minutes, he got 5 assists. He had the most assists on the team. Him and Wemby did. What? You must not be responding to me. Oh, no. I see what you're saying. Sorry. Wemby needed to attack Shingo more this game. He had 5 fouls. You guys got to put like all of your message in like one message because it gets cut apart because other people are commenting. CP3's body's the only thing that worries me. His game is top tier though. No one has told me what they liked about Keldon's game tonight. Oh, July said best part of Keldon's game today is when he sat out. Oh, okay. Mamu over Keldon. Yeah, actually, yeah. And ironically, yeah. I like the fact that Keldon tries. I also like the fact that Keldon tries. He does try, I guess. Clan, you're going too far. What'd I say? Oh, Mamu? Oh, the Mamu thing? Okay. Yeah, I gotta watch what I say. You guys can't tell if I'm joking or not. I do want Mamu to get minutes, but no, he shouldn't get more minutes than Keldon Johnson. Keldon Johnson is a better player. No, Keldon Johnson's a better player than Mamu. Like, come on. But Mamu fits the team more. Like, that's the main thing. Okay, no one's gonna care because no one's gonna make it this far into the video whenever we do clip this and post it. But I probably do need to like separate these two. It's not that Keldon Johnson is a trash player. Okay, it's not that he's a garbage player. It's just I don't know how he fits. I still don't know. I don't think that he fits that well. Keldon doesn't seem like he knows how he fits. I don't even think Popovich knows how he fits. I mean, the way that this game ended was just like, ugh. Because there's times where think nothing's going right, right? Keldon is the perfect player where if nothing's going right, you put him in and maybe you can get a couple baskets here or there, right? Because he can just enforce his will. That's great. But when it's like a tight game and he always has that type of mentality and his defense just isn't that good, his IQ isn't that high as far as like, defensive IQ or whatever. It's a recipe for disaster. It's a recipe for disaster. You should have had Castle or Champagny out there at the end of the game. And it's not even like It wasn't obvious. It was very obvious. Like I said, you can even go back to the play, even if you didn't watch the game, you can go to the play-by-play. He contributed nothing in this fourth quarter at all. There was no reason for him to be out there other than he's the longest tenured Spur. There was no lead up into, oh, okay, yeah, Keldon should be. Like Malachi, for instance, right? Like, you can be frustrated that Malachi was in the game, but Malachi was hot. Like, it was a reason for him to be in that game. At any given moment, he could have hit a big three down the stretch of this game. Keldon, I don't know why he was in it other than his tenure. I have no clue. 3 for 11? Well, why was he even in this game? That's my only thing. That's my only thing. It was just no reason for him to be out there. Dillingham is not better than Castle. Who said Dillingham was better than Castle? Castle is not an offensive killer. He just passed and looks afraid to shoot. Should have kept Dilly. That's insane. James, that's insane. That's an insane comment, dude. Come on. Oh, you posted it twice. You were so confident in that take that you actually posted that twice. That's insane. That's crazy. Castle's a phenomenal defender. You're banned? Ban him! Can Dillingham guard Jalen Green? That's a really great question. Can he? Can he? Can he? Can he? Can he, James? Can he? I mean, other than shooting, James, real talk though, other than shooting, Castle can do everything better. James, Castle has no offense. I like Castle. No. Castle can do everything better than Dillingham other than shoot. And even then, I mean, that's questionable because we haven't really gotten a Castle shooting a lot yet. Like, he hasn't really been given the green light. But yeah, there's really nothing he can do better than him. Dilly hasn't even seen the floor yet in 3 games. Yeah, it's like people just really like Dilly because of the type of player he is rather than actually comparing the two. Dillingham isn't even a good passer, right? He doesn't have great vision. He's an undersized shooting guard. He's good though. I like Dillingham. I do like Dillingham. I liked him in the draft too. I didn't want him in the draft. You know, I was a little like confused at first when we got him. I was like, okay, we must be getting rid of somebody. You can go back to the live stream in which I was like, okay, we're getting rid of somebody. But terrible take. What part? He's a better ball handler. Oh yeah. That's fine. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, no, Castle, I think overall is a better package than what you're gonna get from Dilly, especially long term with his size and frame and everything. Castle turns the ball over too much. Does he? I mean, he had a pretty. I mean, he had 3 turnovers this game, the same as Wemby. I mean, 1 turnover under Wemby actually. Last game. How do you do last game? What were we looking at? Oh gosh. I do not. Let's see. I do not do well with this. All right. Let's see. So this game he had 3. Last game in the Rockets win, he had 3. Chris Paul had more, and they played the same amount of minutes. Wemby had the same amount at 3. Sohan had 3. I think that's just a vibe, man. I think it's just a vibe. Since he's a rookie and you see him turn it over, it stands out more. But no. First game he had 2. Wemby had 4. Sohan had 4. Champagny had 3. He had the same amount as Chris Paul. So no, he doesn't turn the ball over a lot. At least we're not wasting Castle in the G. Oh, they are not going to waste Steph Castle in the G League when he's a literal lottery pick. They're not doing that. 4-8? Nah. 4 overall pick? Nah. He's not going to waste any time there. I think it is showing that we really need Trey Jones back, though. I will say that. I miss Trey Jones. He helped. So that's all I have to say about that game. All right, that was. I know some people are not going to like that take, but hey, that was the Keldon experience. I did not like how that game ended. The team as a whole made mistakes, obviously, right? There's never just one player that loses the game for you. We understand all that. But you know what? You're in that situation. It's under 2 minutes left. It's a close game. You gotta hone in here. And I knew Keldon being out there over Steph Castle or over Chimpini was just a mistake. I do not know why you would do that. That's all.